In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the importance of having a vision. So if you want to find out, stay tuned. Hey guys, thank you so much for sticking around. If you are new here, my name is Shawana Livingston. I'm the brand strategist and graphic designer at Live Love Your Passion, and I help new entrepreneurs and small business owners with personal development and branding for their business. So if that's something that you need, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you do not miss an update. All right, let's talk about vision. I didn't realize how important this was until things from my vision board began to manifest in my life. I had heard people all the time talk about, the law of attraction. I've heard people talk about how our thoughts are things. I've heard faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. And all of those things mean the same thing, right? There's a quote out there that says, the word water doesn't make it wet. They all mean the exact same thing, and it never really set in with me of how important this was until things actually started manifesting in my life. And guys, it was strange at first because I realized I had control over it, right? A lot of times we, talk about things that are going to happen and we don't believe that we have some type of control over it. No, you have power over the things that's happening in your life. So what is a vision? A vision is your ability to think about or plan out your future with your imagination. So that means your imagination is extremely important. That means that the pictures and thoughts that you hold up here are extremely important. And if you are not conscious about the thoughts and the things that you hold up here, guys, you start to create a life that you may not even want for yourself. One of the things that I had on my vision board was a girl with her hands up graduating, which she had a robe, her graduation cap, and she was graduating. That's the vision I had of myself. And at the time, I really didn't even believe it was going to happen. That's why I put it on my vision board, because it was something I wanted to happen and I wanted it so bad. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to look at this every single day that I wake up and remind myself that I am capable of graduating. It happened. Another thing that I had on my vision board is this huge house, right? Huge, humongous house. I wanted that to be my house. But the problem here, well, I'll tell y'all about the problem in just a second, is a huge house. It happened. Another thing I had on my vision board is a bookshelf. I wanted to have books on my shelf so that I can read. It happened. Guys, there are so many other things on my vision board that have come into fruition, which is why I'm telling you this right now. You can't be scared of the vision, because as soon as you hold that picture in your head, oh, it's coming. Okay, it takes some time, right? Let me tell y'all this. Every action that you take has compound interest. You may do something nice for somebody today and you don't realize the effect that that's going to have on your life in the future. It's a ripple effect. That's why you have to be very intentional with everything you do, everything. Back to, about my vision board. The things that I had on my vision board began to manifest. And I realized one other thing when these things began to happen to me. I realized that some things I was very clear about. I held a very clear picture about in my mind. And some things I did not have a very clear picture. And guys, this is really important when it comes to having a vision and when it comes to making things happen in your life. You have to be crystal clear about it. You cannot just say, I want a new house, because you'll get in a new house and be living with somebody else. Right? And that's exactly what happened to me. The home that I had on my vision board did manifest. I am now sitting in like a 3,000 square foot home. The same structure and everything as the home I put on my vision board. But my problem was that I was not crystal clear. I didn't have a vision of me owning that home. I didn't have the vision of me stepping foot in that home and paying that down payment on my home. So the vision and the imagery that you have in your mind about what it is very important. So there's actually a scripture in the Bible where Habakkuk went to the top of this tower to get the vision from God. He said, I'm going to go see what God has to say to me. Now, why would he say, I'm going to see what God has to say? Why wouldn't he say, I'm going to hear what God has to say? And guys, this is really important for you to grasp. The reason he said, I'm going to see what God has to say, is because oftentimes God speaks to us through visions. He plants the imagery in our head. You know why? Because we can imagine things in perfection. That's the same reason that you can picture a perfect circle in your mind, but you may not be able to draw a perfect circle. Our imaginations are divine. So God will give you a vision of what you want to do. And when Habakkuk got the vision, I may not be saying his name right, but when he got the vision, God responded to him. He said, write that vision down. And then he said, make it plain. What does make it plain mean? Make sure it is clear, crystal clear, because God knows that you're going to get exactly what you ask for. Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. You may be watching this and you're like, okay, Shawana, I understand what a vision is. I know how important it is, but how do I get the vision? Where does that come from? The vision has already been given to you. You just have yet to discover it. And God put it in a place where he knows that you will be able to find it. And that place is right here inside of you. And so what you have to do is begin to seek God's face and know thyself. You are not really who you think you are. You are not your name. You are not your skin tone. You are really a divine being just occupying this body so that you can experience life on earth, and so that God can work through you so his will can be done. Okay, so that is where you get the vision. So one of the first steps, if you really want this vision to be able to manifest inside of you, you need to clear your mind from all distraction. Meditate, pray, be aware. Right, be aware. Ask God to send you this vision, and then be aware and present for him to answer you. And you're not always going to get an answer through some type of voice or some vision just popping up in your head. A lot of times God will use your surroundings to send you a sign. That's why it's really important for you to be conscious and not running off of your subconscious, meaning, just going with the motions every single day. You ever been driving somewhere and then you get there and you're like, dang, I don't even remember turning down the street. I don't even remember getting on the freeway. You just got there. It's because your body was running off of the subconscious mind. You've gone that route so many times that your body knows what route to take. And so in order to receive a message from God, you have to be out of that subconscious. You have to be conscious. You have to be aware. You have to be woke. So I want to tell you a story real quick of how being aware will allow God to speak to you. So I came out of my apartment one day and I closed the door, I locked it, and as I locked it, I began to turn to my right to head towards the stairs. And at the top of the stairs, there's like a little bar hedge right there. There was a hawk sitting right there on the hedge, just staring at me. I did not want to take one step forward, guys, because I was like, okay, you know what? This bird is going to attack me. This is a huge bird. I didn't realize how big those birds were until I saw one in person. I started walking towards the bird to walk down the stairs. It didn't move. I got a little bit closer. It didn't move. We were about 10 feet apart and it didn't move until I got about 2 feet away from it. And it flapped its wings and it flew right on a tree right there next to the stairs. It still didn't leave. And as I was coming down the stairs, I'm just eyeing it and it's eyeing me. It was flapping its wings as it was on the tree. And all I could hear was whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going on with this bird? And the reason it was doing that is because the tree that it had flew on was like a really small skimsley, that's not even a word, but really small tree that was not heavy enough to hold it. So I walked closer to the tree because that's the direction of my car, and the bird flew off the tree right above where the cars were on the thing that covers it. Guys, whatever that thing is called, that covers the cars so it don't get rained on. Okay, so it flew right on top of that little thingy, and it was staring at me. And at this point, we're not that far away from each other. I can see it and it can see me. And guys, when I tell you I have never been able to look at a bird right in its eyes like that, like an animal period, have ever been able to look at them right in their eyes and feel like they're looking right back at me, right in my eyes. So, after that encounter, which was really crazy, I decided to go ahead and look up what it means, what's the spiritual meaning of a hawk. If you see a hawk or have an encounter like that with a hawk, spiritually, it means to prepare for greatness. Focus on the vision, focus on the goal, because something great is about to happen to you. I researched more about the bird. I also found out that the hawk doesn't have peripheral vision. And the hawk vision is so good that it can see an ant off a 10-story building. That's when I read that, I was like just really overwhelmed, because a few days before that, I had asked God to give me a sign and direct my path and let me know what should I be doing next. And bam, I had that encounter. This is just a prime example of what being aware does for you. Because anybody else may have just saw the bird, was like, oh, scared, went back in the house, or just decided to walk past the bird and then let it fly away and just not even pay attention that this bird may be sending a message to them. I hope I have explained enough for you today so you can understand the importance of having a vision, how you get the vision, and really how to stand strong on that vision. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time.